How we doing today? I am just making up a smoothie for lunch because shit's getting real in the fridge. It's looking pretty bare. It's like, you know, when you get to the fridge and you're just like, what should I have for lunch? And it's just like, just empty. First world problems, honestly, that I even have a fridge that's stocked with food, but right now my sweet honey is going to the grocery store to get us some more food. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do a little bit of a smoothie here. I've got this amazing protein powder, which I love. It's called Naked Whey protein powder, and it just really helps me to just like stock up on feeling full and gets all those good macros in. Anyways, I'm just doing it really real live today because I've been a little MIA on doing live streams, and I find myself, I get into these like sometimes I feel really inspired to post, and other times I'm like, you know what, I'm heads down working on amazing projects and I don't really feel like being out there and being on live streams, you know. But it's there's always so much that's going on underneath the surface, and I feel like I have to catch you up on everything so that you can keep up with all of the excitement and also get some really good learning out of this. And I think one of the biggest things right now that has been so big on my horizon has been just like wedding planning stuff, and it's been really interesting to see how much expectations come through with wedding planning. And I know that, you know, this is probably not the place to go into all of it right now, but it's just been really interesting to notice how I really get to step up and to get to really be this beacon of love, not just for Spencer and I getting married, but also realizing how much a wedding means to so many people that are all involved in this moment, you know, and realizing just like how much this means to my father, how much this means to my mother, how much this means to, you know, even my bridesmaids who I choose to have up there next to me, the women that have been in my life and have supported me and helped me to become the woman that I am today. You know, all of them have a sense of feeling connected to this wedding and this unity and this harmonious moment in time. And it really took kind of a difficult conversation with my dad to help me really see how much this is so much more than just Spencer and I getting married, you know. And I think that that's something that's not really shared enough, right? And I think that there's always, you know, everyone always warns you about, I should probably plug this in. I'm supposed to make a smoothie, but now I've got on a tangent. Let me just plug this in for a second. There's so much, you know, expectations and stuff where people tell you, oh, you know, wedding planning, you know, there's a lot of family drama, there's a lot of family this and that. And it's like, yeah, I understand that, but I don't think anyone had really articulated to me just how important this day is, not just to the bride and groom, but to the entire community. Like, it takes a tribe, it really does. And I think that that's just something I want to really impart into each of you. You know, you guys may not be in the wedding planning or wedding phase right now. What's going on with my neck? Like, my neck looks like there's a hole in my neck. You guys may not be at the wedding planning phase right now, but it's really important to recognize just how important the communities and the networks that you're building right now, the girlfriends that are by your side right now, the family members that are supporting you through the heartbreaks and through the growth journeys and through the moments, like, these are the people that are going to be there with you on that special day, right? And you get to have that special day if that's what you want. And it gets to be whatever you want it to be, and the bride gets to create this whole experience. And it's really important to not lose sight of all of the other people that are a part of that day with you. And I will be honest, like, that's something I lost sight of. I was so focused on making sure that Spencer was happy about this day and that, you know, all the logistical pieces worked out into place, that sometimes it gets easy to forget about all of the other people that come into this moment. So that was a really big aha for me this last week, as I was kind of like diving into talking with different people about the wedding and having these really beautiful conversations come through and learning for myself. You know, I'm not perfect either. I'm learning for myself of like, okay, this gets to be a very intentional moment. And how can I choose these next few months leading up to this wedding to really be intentional about honoring the people in my life that have helped support me on my whole journey to get to this point of marrying the love of my life, you know? And I have all these fun new ideas and things that I want to do to specifically honor some very beautiful people in my life. And people just don't talk about this, right? Like, I've never heard this before. And I'm so grateful to my dad for being like, hey, Teal, let's really have a conversation about what weddings really mean, right? Because there was a big question about if I wanted to have him walk me down the aisle or not. And we had to really ask ourselves, like, are we doing this just because this is tradition and this is just what you do? Or am I doing this because this means something to us and that this is a value, right? And that this has a place in the ceremony and in this moment of time. And after talking with him through it, it was like, yeah, no, this is a really, really important, meaningful milestone, not just for me, but for him as well. So I found this to be really, really a beautiful learning lesson in the life of Teal, as I am also supporting so many beautiful women who may not be quite at that phase yet. Hi, Susie. Am I on my Facebook Live? I hope I'm on my group and I'm not on my personal one. I've done that before where I'm like live streaming to all my personal people, but oh well. Anyways, I wanted to also talk a little bit about a beautiful, beautiful question that came up inside of the Ladies Love Lounge yesterday as I was coaching some women through some things. And I'm just celebrating this beautiful client of mine so much because she has moved through so much beautiful self-love and self-growth and self-worthiness challenges within her own life, and has gotten to the point where she has attracted in literally the beautiful, beautiful man of her dreams. And she's now in this place of feeling a little bit of self-sabotaging this. Oh, good. I'm glad I'm on the right one. Thanks, Susie. Self-sabotaging herself and feeling like, like, is this too good to be true, right? And I really want to talk about self-sabotage today and how important it is that we really catch ourselves and not allow the mind to sabotage something that is actually happening, right? The manifestation that is actually coming true. Because I see this so much and it's so easy to do, right? We get so caught up into this mental space in ourselves of getting caught up in the comfortable life, right? Maybe you've been single for a really long time and that's what you know. You know how to do life on your own. You know how to live on your own. Like that's just been your norm for so long that when the beautiful man of your dreams actually comes into your life, as my client has now been able to attract, it's like, I don't know how to do this, right? And I'm so glad that she's in the Love Lounge so I can kind of just keep coaxing her through it and reassuring her through it, right? So that she doesn't mess it up. But she was really, really clear in recognizing, I noticed something, my mind trying to sabotage this, trying to pull me back to what's comfortable, back to the old way of being, back to the place of, I know what it's like to be single. I don't know what it's like to be with this beautiful man that I wrote in a vision on a piece of paper to you, Teal, and now is in real life, right? Like, maybe this is too good to be true. And I want to talk about self-sabotage, right? Because the biggest thing you can recognize with self-sabotage is all of these mental voices just trying to get in there, just trying to just chew away and literally pull you back. So if you notice yourself falling into self-sabotage, this is really, really good and it's really important to recognize. And then second, it's really, really important to just journal that stuff out, right? Or voice note it out, or just talk it through with someone that you trust. Because these voices, if they're left untamed, they will take over, right? And they will pull you back, and they will start to influence your energy and the way that you're showing up with this new person in your life. And the last thing that we want is for this beautiful manifested man to start being like, wait a second, where was the cool chick that I knew just a few months ago? Like, why are you turning back into the crazy girl, right? And the other part of it was, asking that voice, the inner mind critic that is trying to self-sabotage and keep you in your safe comfort zone, what is actually true about this, right? Because of the things that were coming up for her were just completely false mindset things, right? Saying she didn't feel pretty enough or she didn't feel good enough. And she knew for herself that she does feel beautiful. She does feel worthy. She does feel ready. But the mind was still trying to replay an old story that she was used to listening to, right? So if you notice an old story, an old replayed pattern of something coming through, that's a really good indicator of like, aha, I see you, I hear you, and we're not going there, right? And that's where you really get to be a thought ninja. Like literally, I was talking about this with my beautiful girlfriend I met in a mastermind, and she lives in Switzerland. I've literally never met her in person, but we're like best friends. And she's like, yeah, it's like we have to be these literal thought ninjas and just be like, whoa, no, you are not coming through here, right? Because if we let these thoughts continue to permeate through our subconscious, then they start to run the show. and then it will pull us back. So moral of the story here is, if you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable about stepping into the new life, or feeling like your new life is coming through and you're seeing beautiful manifestations of things you've always dreamed of and feeling like it's too good to be true, or you're feeling not good enough or not worthy of it, just really check yourself and really remember that inherently you are love, right? You are a being of love. Love is inherently good. It's inherently worthy. It's inherently beautiful, right? And you have nothing to be worried about, and you have nothing to stress about or cause anxiety around, that you deserve everything, and that you would not have had this vision and this dream if it was not meant for it to come true for you, okay? And so when you feel that constriction come up in your body, or you feel that hesitantness or that anxiousness or that nervousness or just anything that does not feel peaceful or relaxing, this is an indicator that the mind's trying to take over the heart. And to just really breathe through that, right? And journal it out and ask for help. Reach out to me if you need, and really just allow yourself to feel all the feelings that are coming through. Because if we don't, we end up allowing the mind to run the show. And when we allow the mind to run the show, the mind gets to take it wherever it wants. And that's not where we want to go, right? So I really loved being able to have this conversation with her and remind her just how incredibly beautiful she is and how worthy she is. And I mean, her man is calling her his African queen, right? Just so beautiful that he sees her that way. And I think it can feel really uncomfortable, but it is so important and so valuable to be able to step into that life and then anchor it in, right? Anchor it in and trust and know that we are not going back. There is no way we're going back to the old way. And if I listen to my mind, we will go back to the old way. So I get to just thought ninja all those not helpful, not true thoughts out. And I get to come back home to the peace and knowing and the truth of who I really fucking am, right? And that is love and light. So that's what I want to reassure and remind all of you today, is that you are love and light. And that the visions and the dreams that you have been putting out there and hoping for and calling for so long, they are on their way to you right now. And it is now up to you to just drop into the trust, to drop into the worthiness, to drop into the reality and the remembrance that I get to have this. I get to have this. I'm worthy of having this. This is all so beautiful and so important. And that there is nothing that is going to stop me from receiving this, unless I choose to give power to my mind, right? But I know better now. And I'm not going to fall victim to the mind. I'm going to stay true to the heart. I'm going to lead from the heart. And I'm going to allow the heart to really dictate that energy and that presence, that love frequency. And from that place, I know I am safe, that I am so loved in return, and that it gets to be easy, right? So I'm going to leave you with that today. Mwah. Also, before I finish, I wanted to let you know, I have been just doing so many little things. I'm so proud of myself. I've been like single-handedly teaching myself Facebook ads, which is a beast, but I'm so excited to be getting out into Facebook ads, really expanding my light, expanding my love, expanding my reach. I would love for each of you to continue to expand this light and this love and this reach to people that you know that could use and need this kind of love and support and encouragement in their life. Have them join our Facebook group. Tell them about my free trainings, like tell them about my Instagram. I really want to get this message out there to just so many more women, and that's really been my goal this year. And it starts with really, I have just put my heart and soul into this free training, and if this is something you guys are interested in learning about, I'm sure many of you have gone through it already. I'm going to drop the link down below if you want to check it out. This has been a culmination of really pulling together the biggest teaching principles that I find myself repeating over and over again on all my intake calls, right? Where women come to me and they share their different challenges, and we tend to talk through very similar themes and principles. And I was like, you know what? I really want to put this into a kick-ass powerful training that we can just bring and broadcast out to the world. So if you have not had a chance to yet look at that, I highly recommend signing up for that. Like I said, I'll send you the link for it. And this is all about how ambitious women really get to attract in high quality men without dimming their shine or sacrificing their power. Like, this is everything that I talk about, right? How do we step into becoming that high value woman for ourselves? And how do we actually attract in the higher frequency, the higher caliber of man that is either stepping up to meet us up there, or that we are allowing and creating space for him to just already come into our existence. This is really, really powerful training. And I've just been loving to see how much traction it's been getting and how many women have been just loving the content and the material of it. So I just wanted to put in a little plug for that. And also, like I said, I'm going to be opening up, I've already opened up the Attraction Academy, and it's now an open enrollment. So if anyone is curious about signing up and learning more about the Attraction Academy, I talk about it on the free training. So just wanted to put that out there today as well. And I'm going to go have my smoothie and hang with my little snoozy pup here on the couch and keep at it. So sending you love, ladies. Mwah. Talk to you soon.